With anybody in recovery, the best piece of advice I can give is obviously no secrets, but it goes deeper than that. You can't keep secrets from yourself. That's just obviously you can't keep secrets from yourself. But it's stupid because we try to keep secrets from ourselves. Like the times I told you where I would slip up one time and be like, oh, like, just never talk about it, you know? You know what it was? It gave me hope. Like, even though I'm not ready at that particular time to get sober, to get off the drugs, just having it back in the back of my mind that the help's there. Like, because if you weren't there, I would feel stuck, you know? I'd be like, how the hell am I gonna get out of this when I need to? The fact that now the way society works, instead of giving up on the addicts, having people help addicts get through. And that is what's so helpful to me. Like when I was an addict years ago, there's still help and support there, but few and far in between. It's huge having those there. We need these services because it gives addicts hope. A couple years ago, I was homeless on the streets of Lowell, particularly around Appleton Street. And yeah, she did outreach work around the area, and I would run into her. I actually think the first time I met her was at Jay's, and she was like giving out Narcan or something. It was right after a time I overdosed, and we had a conversation about that. Yeah, so there was one day in particular where she found me in the most random place under a bridge in like the middle of the woods, and was trying to get me to detox, right? And I kept blowing it off like, yeah, I'll go tomorrow, right? And I end up, instead of going detox, got arrested and went to jail for 90 days. So that was like God's calling right there. I was on lots of medications like Adderall. And I was probably like 12 years old when they heavily medicated me. And I got high off it. I didn't understand what being high was at the time, but I loved it. You know, I'm cleaning my room, I'm talkative, you know, this is awesome. But like being in school and stuff on the Adderall was really like looking at the clock every 2 seconds. That's when it was no good. So I would, that's when my problems began. I wasn't a drug, I mean, I've been a drug addict my whole life, but when they were born, I was clean. I was sober for 7 years. 2015, I relapsed 2 years ago when me and the kids' mom split up. But at the beginning of their life, probably like the first 5 years of River's life, 3 years for Island, I was there. 100%. I worked, I provided, I was the man you're supposed to be, you know, provided for your family. We're always together, you know, except for when I was working, but that's okay because I was working. But then all of a sudden, I relapsed and I'm not there anymore, so that was new to them. What I did is I went to the hospital because I had to get to detox. I was, in my mind, I had to get to detox. I had no money, no way to get drugs. The hospital, of course, what all the hospitals do is give you a list and say, call these numbers, there's a phone right there. So I called the first name on the list. It would have to be Dimmick. They had a bed open, but I had to be there in like 3 or 4 hours, but I don't have a ride. So what the hell am I gonna do, you know? I'm begging the hospital, give me a ride, you know? You guys, you're supposed to help. You're like, you're a hospital, help me. But they don't care about addicts, you know? Like, I understand where the prejudiceness comes from, but So I just kind of stayed there and bugged them for hours, you know, talking to some lady outside smoking a cigarette or whatever, and she's basically giving me the God rundown, you know, like I'm not religious at all, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever, you know. So as I'm talking to her, this is weird to me. Like the church bells start ringing. It's like 4 o'clock now. I had to get to detox in an hour. And at that point, the nurse comes out and says, "Okay, we're gonna give you a ride, but we're gonna get an ambulance to give you a ride." And like that was like a what's the word? Divine intervention. To get clean, I can't tell you how I did. I can't tell you how to do it, but I know for a fact to remain in active recovery, you have to really open up your mind, dig deep in what's going on in there, you know, like, because with addiction, it always comes down to mental health. You know, you can get clean, but still be depressed, still be angry, still be whatever. So lately I've been digging deep into what's going on in my head, and that's what's helped me maintain. We honest as we have to be with our kids. So since their mother, my kid's mom, is in recovery, she was having some sort of conversation with my son. He's 5 years old, and it's because she's living with them now, and she was basically told him, like, he's in that why, lost question stage, and she's like, yeah, I love you guys more than I love drugs, you know, like, I'm getting over this drug addiction because I love you guys. And he came running to me and like kind of woke me up, and he's like, Dada, do you, I forget exactly how he said it, but it was something like, do you love me more than drugs? Like, are you getting better because you love us more than drugs? And that's just like heart palpitations, you know, like it's so hard. It feels like it's gonna last forever, like I said earlier. And it's very important to get you back to yourself again. And I'm getting back to myself again.